Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And for our Valentine's film this year, we have a film called Black Vampire. But that's not its original name. This is a very truncated version of a more artistic film made back in 1973 called Ganja and Hess by Bill Gunn, who was an actor, a writer, and a director. And unfortunately, when it was released, it was a little too esoteric and highbrow, and with a lot of symbolism and allegory about addiction. And a lot of people didn't get it, and it didn't do well. So it got sold to another company, and they re-edited it and put it back out as Blood Couple, and it still didn't do well. So it got re-edited again. Another company brought it out a couple years later as Double Possession, and eventually we got this version, which is titled Black Vampire, in which the vast majority of the philosophical aspects, the analogies to drug addiction, and even character moments were kind of cut out so that it could concentrate more on the horror and sex aspects of the film. Now, Bill Gunn was more of a supporting actor than a big star. He had been in the film Sound and Fury, but most of his work was in TV, such as appearances on Outer Limits, Man from Uncle, the Ron Ely version of Tarzan, Hi, and The Cosby Show in the 80s. As a writer, along with this film, he also did Stop, which was a unreleased, rather graphic sex film, along with The Landlord, Angel Levine, and American Parade, which were all dramas. The last one was a French drama. And, or no, I'm sorry. As a director, besides Stop and Ganja and Hess, his only other directorial film was Personal Problems, which was a French drama. Let's see. Our leading lady is Marlene Clark, who you may have remembered from Beast Must Die. Very popular in the 70s for her genre work, which included Switchblade Sisters and Enter the Dragon. And for horror fans, she was known for Night of the Cobra Woman, Beware the Blob, Lord Shango, and Black Mamba, along with Beast Must Die. And of course, our main star is Dwayne Jones of Night of the Living Dead fame. Probably his only other major work. Well, we start off with our main character, Dr. Hess Green, who's been studying the Mythoreans and their history in Nigeria, where they had a history of drinking blood in service to the queen. And it is here where he gets a new lab assistant, George Mehta.
We also found an assistant for you to help you with your research. A rather strange person, but knowledgeable. He's in Mr. Wood's office now. His name is George Mehta.
Strange man. Oh, I hope that doesn't have a foreboding aspect of tragedy.
Perhaps.
Oh, they also show him an interesting artifact.
Age. This is a piece of petrified wood. Notice the curious markings on the wood. Absolutely magnificent.
Yes, it is most unusual.
That's a dagger.
That's right.
Anyways, he takes Mehta to his mansion, where after dinner they discuss things to do with the Murthians, blood drinking, and then Hess goes to bed, but he wakes up later and discovers Meta maybe a bit depressed.
I'm drunk, okay?
Not drunk enough to jump out of that tree.
Oh, okay. He's very depressive. Well, Dr. Hess talks him out of the tree, and they go back and drink some more and discuss blood drinking as an addiction, and then go to bed, only for Meta to attack him later that night.
I'm shocked.
Told you it's a dagger. Well, of course, after cleaning himself up, Meta cannot live with what he's done and takes out a gun and removes himself from this world. At which point, we learn Hess didn't die.
Is only mostly dead.
Not a mark on him. Well, he goes and he finds Meta, who's left rather a messy death scene. And here we learn another sad aspect of what has now happened to Dr. Hess. Well, after that, we get some written exposition explaining he's become infected by the germs that were on that wood from ancient time. Well, horrified by what he's done, he goes out in the field to move on to the next life himself. Seems he can't die now either. All he needs are fangs and he'll be complete. Anyway, he decides he will not take another life to feed this new addiction. So he breaks into a clinic.
As the shadow of the cross, an implement of torture touched their darkened hearts. But oh.
Okay, he's going to steal what he needs. That's at least somewhat morally acceptable, I guess. Then he makes a mistake of going to a bar one day and allows himself to be picked up by a working girl who takes him back to her place. Bad move on the pimp's part. But yeah, he ends up killing them both. And then we learn he hasn't grown fangs.
Holy hallucination!
Well, so much for not taking a human life to feed. Oh, that woman is the Mysterian Queen who he constantly has visions of. Well, if this doesn't make matters worse, a woman calls him. Ganja. She's George Mehta's wife.
Just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad.
And wants to talk to him, but Hess says he's not there. He disappeared. Well, she comes out there anyways, because she's got nowhere to stay, and since George was staying there, she can take his room. At which point, over talk and stuff, things lead to, you know.
Sex.
Apparently the bloodlust came over him and he rushed away into the attic and downed some stuff. But Ganja followed him and they eventually consummate their new relationship. The next day, Hess heads back to the inner city for another liaison with a working girl. Well, wow, that's been going on. Ganja's been cooking dinner for them, and she goes into the cellar looking for ingredients and things.
I'm shocked.
Okay, that I did not expect. Anyway, she confronts him that night.
I said I want the truth!
Why did you kill him?
I didn't kill him. Your husband committed suicide.
Crazily enough, she believes it. But why then didn't he call the police? Well, 1973, black man calls of somebody having committed suicide in his home. A scandal, among other things. So, they take the body out into the field and dispose of it. And then turn around and this happens.
For as much as these two persons have come hither to be made one in this holy estate, if there be anyone present who knows any just cause why they may not lawfully be joined in marriage.
Yeah, they get married. But the honeymoon isn't quite what she expected. Well, they will now be together forever, I guess. You know, she could have at least asked first if she wanted to be an eternal vampire. Oh well. And next he goes out, brings home someone for dinner, figuratively and literally. And so we get another scene of seduction with enough close-ups of feet to warm the cockles of Quentin Tarantino's heart.
Very funny.
And other things, until the inevitable happens. Yeah, first time's always the hardest. Well, now they have another body to dispose of.
I'm not dead!
He's alive.
No.
Hess! No! He is alive! He's alive!
I'm pretty sure he was breathing, wasn't he? Anyway, after some more discussion about religion and Christianity, Hess goes to church. So he's apparently born again now, and decides to end his existence by standing in front of a cross. Oh. Let's see if Ganja's going to go with him. Doesn't look like she wants to. I wonder what this is going to end on. Rather ambiguous there. Which was not the ending of the original Ganja Hess. Now, in that version, she does not choose to go with him and decides to live on. And the whole thing with the one guy that was supposedly not dead, well, it turns out he gets back up and heads to the house and enters and reunites with Ganja, apparently. Yeah, this is kind of a hard one to really judge, considering it's so chopped. The original film is an art film. It's an art house film, and it's even been put in the National Film Registry for its importance as a piece of art. And this truncated one, it doesn't quite work as a horror film, especially because plot's a little hard to follow because they took out all this extraneous stuff that about character and addiction and everything, and so it's only just in passing we get anything about that. And yet, because this is such a well-made film and an interesting film, you still get those bits of what made this film really good. They couldn't quite turn it into an exploitation film. It's still art, even with the bad print, even with the convoluted plot taken from the editing. You still see mostly what Bill Gunn was going for, and of course this version was denounced by Gunn, rightfully so. Ganja Hess was not a film made for die-hard horror fans. It was made for people who wanted something a little more than just blood and sex. And that's why it didn't do well when it came out, and why it is so much revered today for being so different and interesting and explorative. So, if you want to be interested in this kind of film, I'd say go with Ganja Hess and not the edited versions like Blood Couple or Double Possession or Black Vampire. And there's really not much else to say. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And stay after for my favorite scene, which is probably Jones's best acting in the film.